So this one's a little bit more serious. The last one I did was kind of a funny one, but this one's gonna be very, very, very honest. So I'm not the kind of person that knows or enjoys asking for help. I have never enjoyed being somebody that looks at like I'm weak, like I'm useless. And this past month has been really hard for me since my surgery, and then tomorrow I go in for more surgery, and so I'm going to become useless again. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the definition of what useless really means. I'm simply the captain of my ship right now. I am simply the captain of my household. I have to give the commands, and I need to tell people what it is that I need, and then be okay with them doing it, or be okay with them not doing it. I think that's probably harder for me because some people might say I'm a control freak. My husband will definitely tell you that I am somewhat of a control freak, and my teenage children will tell you that I am less of a control freak now that I'm in my mid-40s than I was when I was younger. It's not like I'm super, super clean and everything has to be put in its place and all of that at all times. But when the dishes don't get done and I can start to see the dust bunnies like come marching, as I'm sitting in my chair and I'm seeing the dust bunnies and things are just kind of chaotic and out of control, that needs to be okay. All of that needs to be okay. And so I found myself using the words that I'm useless a lot. And my husband and my daughter were like, you first of all haven't really stopped doing anything since you have gotten diagnosed, because you're making these videos and you're talking to people and you're counseling people and you're coming up with these ideas, and I have to remember that all of that stuff counts too. It's not just the physical part of things. And that this is not my forever reality, that it will not always be like this. And so I really, really, really had to come to terms with that yesterday. And I had to learn to just say, oh, it is what it is. So my new mantra is, well, that happened. Kind of like somebody came to visit and the dog got really excited and she peed all over the place. And so I looked at everybody and I was like, well, that happened. Or so one night I fell asleep in the chair downstairs. I've got all my meds next to me. I was on 7 different medications and I couldn't sleep upstairs in my bed. So I was downstairs on the chair, and I don't know if I was having a crazy dream or just what was going on, but I straight up just squooshed everything right off, like in the middle of the night at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I moved my arm and I knocked everything off. I mean, pill bottles went flying, my water went flying, it was everywhere, and I was like, oh my goodness. But again, that happened. Okay, well, that happened. So we just cleaned it up. I guess when you're facing something like cancer and they say things to you like, we don't know what your future is going to hold, and before I knew what stage I was at, we didn't know what stage I was at. I didn't know, is this my last Christmas? Is this my, I don't know. I didn't know any of those things. It suddenly puts life completely in perspective, so that literally crying over spilled milk is ridiculous. There's no reason to, because there's so many things that are going on in your life that's so much bigger than that. And so all the little things that used to irritate me and all the little things that I could choose to still be irritated by, I try to let those go, because again, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is my daughter. My daughter is gonna be 15 in 3 months. She has grown over the past 2 months from 14 to like a 25-year-old, because her level of responsibility has gone so far up, and she is invaluable to me. I could not be going through this without her. She is there for my emotional support and my mental support and all of my physical needs. And when Aaron is working or when he's off doing other different things that he has to do, she is there. And I apologized to her for this happening to her. And she said, but Mom, it's not happening to me. And I said, yes, it is. It is happening to you as well. You are trying to navigate your freshman year of high school, which is hard enough, you guys. Freshman year of high school, oh my gosh, like one of the hardest years ever. And then my daughter has to navigate learning that her mom has breast cancer, and then watching me go through the surgery, and then caring for me at home, and then having me go back into the hospital and deal with all these complications. And then, you know, the question of, do I have to have chemo? Do I not? Am I going to lose my hair? I mean, think about what a typical teenager has to deal with on an everyday basis and multiply that by 1,000. And that is what kids that have sick parents, that's what they are going through. That's what they have to deal with. So I'm unbelievably blessed with the school that she's at. She goes to the Potter's House High School. They have been so supportive. The administration, the staff, the other students, they have been so gracious with her, and they have helped her to navigate through this entire time. And I just wanted to give a shout out to them, because I just appreciate just you coming around her and supporting her and loving on her. So any of you that have teenagers or have friends that, you know, so maybe some of Addison's friends' parents can understand a little bit more that I'm so proud of her. Like, she has done such an incredible job navigating through all of this. And Addison, thank you. I love you. You are my rock. You are absolutely just my very favorite person in the entire world. I know, don't tell your dad that I said that. But I really couldn't do this without you. You are absolutely amazing. And on that note about my husband, Aaron, when you signed on for this, you signed on for marriage. And when our vows we talk about in sickness and in health. And when we say those words, you don't really think about in sickness and in health. Like, you just think, oh, it's part of the vows, so we just do that or whatever. But this is tough. This is hard. It was hard when you got hurt and I had to take care of you. And now I'm hurt and you get to take care of me. And thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for working extra hard, even though you have your own broken back that you're dealing with on top of all of this. And you've just been there for me this entire time. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you thank you. Those of you that are sick, those of you that have gone through any kind of illness or injury, have grace with your spouse. Ask them how they're doing as well, because it's not all just about me. It's also about them. So I check in with him on a regular basis. Hey, how are you doing with this? How are you handling this? I mean, his mom passed away 9 years ago from the very same thing that I'm dealing with right now. And so that's got to be really hard. And so I check in with him on a regular basis just to see how he's doing. So that's all I have for right now. That one was a little bit more of a serious video. I will try to keep it a little bit lighter for the other ones.